Welcome to Rome. I just arrived. It was really hot, and Google Maps. The problem is metro stations. There tend to be very large places, mostly underground, with several entrances and exits. And Google Maps somehow reduces all that to a single point on the map. So you come out of the station, you have no idea which exit you've come out of, and you have no idea where you are on the map. I walked the wrong way for, I don't know, half a mile or so before I realized that I was supposed to be passing streets, and I was passing a giant field that seemed to have no end. So then I had to turn around. It's hotter than blazes out there. Whoops. Oh, God. It's impossible to cross the street, and I think I have enough money that I'm going to start taking taxis. There's only 2 lines in the metro, and there's only 2 lines in the metro, and so I think I should just take a taxi. Anyway, I get here, I'm so exhausted, they just thrust water in my hand, they're like, I'll show you the room, you can pay later. I'm like, okay, sounds good. I should probably have a cold shower or something so I don't get heat stroke, but what I wanted to say was, oh God, the train trip was awful. It wasn't entirely awful. I met 3 good people, but I think I need to tell you the train trip later. I think I need to stop now and get some water and die. But there's a good story coming up. Okay. Water is a glorious thing. I've just had a bit of a cold shower. Okay, I kind of turned the water on cold, stood underneath it for a few minutes. Didn't get my hair wet because I didn't want to get my hair. Everything was freezing cold water, just how I liked it. So, this place is nice. Quaint, small. Nice. It's picturesque from the outside, but it is hard to get to. So, I get on the train after my last missive, and I found my compartment. And it's very small. There's 3 seats on each side, and there's a narrow little walkway. And of course, I've got my huge suitcase. So I try to tuck it sideways underneath the seats, and it won't go. So I have to turn on end, and it sticks out about an inch or 2. And this woman comes in, and she greets me in French, and I just kind of smile. And she says hi in English, and I reply. And she says, "You are American." Snotty-like. And I nod a little bit and go back to my book because now I know she hates me for being American, and I don't want to talk to her. Another woman comes in with a bag, and we're trying to figure out how to situate the bags. And she's very upset that my bag sticks out a little. She tells me, turn it sideways. And I said, well, I tried that, but it doesn't fit. And she said, turn it sideways. And I'm trying to tell her that I tried that, and it won't fit. But every time she tells me to turn it sideways, she tells me like the most obvious thing in the world, like, duh, and then looks away to go speak in French to people who are coming in. So I said, well, fine, I'll show you. She goes, oh, she'll show me. I'm like, okay, whatever the hell, lady. So I turn it sideways and I make a big show of pushing it, and it won't go under. And I said, if you can get it under, you're welcome to. And the other one comes in, and she sees that there's shelves up high at each end. And above the seats, there's the top bunk stays down, and the seats turn into 2 more. And this lady is on the top on the right. So we start to put things up at the top, at the shelf for the luggage. And she starts saying something very urgently in French to the guy that's come in and helped us lift things. what I later found out she was saying was that she wants the space of the shelf at the head and foot of her bunk clear because she has long legs. Like maybe an inch taller than me. She does not need that much room. And also they're set up a bit, so it would not be comfortable. But there you go. You know, it doesn't matter that we don't have a place to put our bags because she needs her space. So by this time there are 2 young ladies and a gentleman. Very nice people. All of which have quietly left. And I'm sitting and I'm reading. And the lady who is Italian, as opposed to the nice lady who is Argentinian, her English is a little bit less, and the nice gentleman, and then there's the bitchy lady. There were only 5 of us in this 6-person compartment. So the Italian lady, who is, 27 or so, she comes in and she invites me to go get some coffee with them. And I don't drink coffee, so I'm about to refuse. And then I glance at the bitchy lady who has been shooting me glares periodically. And the Italian lady also glances at her and is like, yeah, it'd be good, get out of the cabin for a bit. I'm like, I just got here, but actually, yeah, getting away from her would be good. So we go out, and of course the 3 of us are talking about her, and this is what I found out what she had been saying. And she's apparently, like, such a huge bitch. At one point, because I needed to stretch my legs when we had been alone, I had put my feet up on the opposite seat because I was the only person in the cabin. She had gone out into the hallway. And she stands in the doorway screaming at me in French. So I stare at her because she knows I don't speak French. But she's screaming in French. Just back in America, back in America. I'm like, I don't know. Later I found out she had complained to the Italian woman that I had put my feet up and that was horribly rude or something. Whatever. Yeah. So we go, we have a chat and bit. There's something involving a guy, and I didn't quite catch what was going on, but we headed back to check on that situation and found that it was dealt with. But then we're kind of standing in the hallway and we're kind of in the way. So we decided to brave it and go back into the coach. And she is laying in her bunk now. I believe she had turned out the light, but it was still daylight and so forth. And so the 3 of us sit and we begin to have a quiet little chat. It's only, 9 o'clock, so we're not really tired. And she keeps sending huffy little glares. And then she just goes off on the Italian lady. She's just, Francesca is her name, apparently, the Italian lady. And she just goes off on Francesca in French. And she's just screaming at her. And she keeps saying, respecto, respecto. And I'm going, it's not respectful to scream at people in French, lady. Jesus Christ. And Francesca is managing to keep somewhat calm, but just every time she starts to speak, the lady's just screaming at her. And she starts saying, stupido, and she says something about some very hateful terms followed by the word American, and just nastiness. Oh. So, whatever. The gentleman comes back, and she's all smiles and fake laughs, and makes a little joke, and I believe informs him that we were being loud, and he sits and we have a chat with him for a while. It's quite nice. Until she snaps again, goes off on him, starts saying something about douche, which I later found she was saying that she would give him a shower, and he's like, a shower? How? And she's like, the water bottle, and he's like, no thank you. She keeps screaming at him, and he just keeps being very polite, like, continue on, I'm listening to your crazy rant. Wonderful gentleman. He starts recording her at some point. He's promised to email me the recording. I'll make a video with that. Oh, God. So, she comes down. She keeps talking about the police. Making fake phone calls, it turns out. Going out into the hall as if to go find somebody and then coming back. She's just livid that we dare sit and talk quietly amongst ourselves. 4 of us and 1 of her, you know what I mean? She, At some point, she's standing in the hallway just throwing a tantrum, and he has started recording on her phone at this point, and she shoves him or lunges at him or something I didn't quite see. He stumbles back a step or two, and I'm like, what? They keep talking. He seems like he's going to go try and fetch somebody. He ends up in the hallway, and she ends up in the doorway. At which point, she throws herself backwards into the chair and starts screaming bloody murder. Not even words, just screams. And I'm going, she's trying to frame that he shoved her. Or, judging by the screaming, tried to rape her. I'm not entirely certain. And I'm going, oh my god, no. You'll hear on the recording, I jump up, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because she's screaming in my ear, she's falling right next to me. And she storms out saying, you pushed me, I'll get you arrested. She loved to say, it's the law. Yeah, the only English she would use. Saying that it's illegal to sit and talk, I guess. Anyway, she storms out, and when she comes back, I'm standing in the doorway, and she says something to me in French. I don't speak French, so I stay where I am. I mean, quite obvious she wants in, but at this point, I'm so done with her. If she wants to get in, she'll ask me to move in English, because she knows that's the language that I speak, and she speaks it well enough. She had a little conversation with me earlier, so it's not as though she speaks no English. And she goes, oh, like what? It was always from her tone. She goes, oh, you're not going to move. You're going to be like that or something, I'm just standing there. I don't speak French or whatever. And she shoves me out of the way. And so I'm like, oh, now you're going to push me? What the hell? Grabs her bag, storms off to go find... But at this point, Francesca has already left to go find conductors and policemen. And she comes back with people in suits. And this lady takes this train every week for years now. And she has done this several times before. They take her away. They take her things away with her. I don't know if they put her in a different compartment or there was a stop nearby, if they just kicked her off the train. I hope she got kicked off the train and banned, because that was just atrocious. Ugh. Nasty, nasty lady. We locked our door tight that night in case she came back. But then it was quite comfortable with only 4 of us in a 6-person coach. I have the worst luck when traveling. I mean, at least in Amsterdam, it was James who got shoved by the bus driver and not me. I really don't appreciate getting shoved. This crazy, crazy woman. So, we sat and we talked about it for a while, and then we went to sleep, and then we got up, and the gentleman got off in Florence, and the rest of us got off in Rome, and I believe I already mentioned things about the metro and trying to find... I think I'm definitely going to do taxis. I've been pretty frugal so far. I have some extra cash. And now that once I pay for this hotel, that's going to be the last major expense, because I already have my tickets to get to Germany. So, yeah, that should do it. And this is the beginning of Rome. I'm really not enjoying myself anymore. It's starting to feel like this burden, that I have to complete this journey, as opposed to a trip that I want to go on. But I'll live. I feel kind of sick now. I'm going to go down and pay and get the internet code, and hopefully I'll be able to get online and start posting these.